So what I would say when you're volleying, sure, bang, out in front, recover. If you expect this and this happens, or you expect a backhand and it comes to your forehand, you might not have time to go here and then punch. So just here, right, on reaction. Uh-oh, I'm surprised, block. Uh-oh, I'm surprised, block, right? That's a super important thing. When you're using your backhand, right, you lead with your knuckles, all right? Let's see, and then on the forehand, you can lead with your palm, right? You don't wanna be like leading with anything else. Make sense? Let's see, there's one last thing that's super important, and this is something I learned within the past year or so. It's the ready position, all right? When we talk about the ready position, I like to keep my wrist straight, like this. I don't like to have this ready position, because when I'm here and the ball comes to my body, normally I have to cock my wrist forward and then punch a little bit. Sometimes you'll see Gabe Tardio going like this to cover the chicken wing, right? See how his wrist breaks a little bit? Right, we're using a little bit, we're trying to keep the paddle face strong and flat here, but it covers our backhand really well. But here, look at my wrist position. It's a little bent, right? If I'm like this, if I'm up here like this, I have to break, then punch. So if I keep it like this, now it's just turn and go, turn and go, turn and go, turn and go. Does that make sense? So watch my wrist position. It skips a step is what I'm saying. It skips a step. We're here, boom, right? Our forearm can just rotate a little bit and we can take it out in front and counter. Any questions on that? Last thing is so important. Every time we hit a volley, we need to have our weight forward. All right? The biggest thing your students will have trouble with is they'll panic and go like this. Their weight will go on their heels, they'll jump, their paddle will come in, right? We don't really want our paddle coming in farther than this. This is already close enough. Does that make sense? When it's fast, we want to be strong and compact out in front. Pretty tight grip pressure, maybe like 7, 8 out of 10 grip. Does that make sense? All right, beginner drill. All right, we'll do a beginner drill first and then an advanced drill. We're just gonna do a figure 8 drill. This works on getting your students comfortable turning the paddle, right? And coming back to a somewhat neutral position, right? We don't want to hit and then come back to this all the time. Does that make sense? So for example, we can start close. We can start here, all right? Like about a step into the kitchen, all right? One person goes cross body. The other person goes line, all right? It'll make a figure 8. That's really the drill, okay? Let's say you go cross body, I go line, okay? Nice and easy, collaborative. All right. Okay, and that's really it. We're starting very, very soft with the beginners. We want them to be able to hit and keep their paddle face pretty flat. Like imagine there's a wall and we're trying to hit into the wall and keep it flat. If this happens, it's gonna go up, right? We also don't want this to happen either. This happens a lot. They break their wrist when it's all the way up here, right? We just want it to be straight here. We only need to break our wrist when the ball's down here and we're doing the Gabe Tardio counter with the elbow up, curling the shoulders forward, right? That's a different shot, but you're either on high balls, we need to keep our wrist pretty straight and punch like which is like a sword, right? Like a straight line. Make sense? Yeah, I would do that. Do it from a couple different distances. You can start from here, right? Like all the way close in. Same thing. Make them be very quick. Keep the elbow out in front. Notice my stance. I'm a little wider. I'm on my balls of my feet leaning into the ball, all right? And I'm always doing this. Keeping my elbow here, all right? I'm trying not to get into this position. That make sense? All right, always a little bit of space in front of our body. Then you take a step back, do it from here. Then you can take a step back and do it from here. All right? Give it a shot, give it a shot. This is just a beginner drill. This is a really good way to help beginners get a feel for the right technique, okay? I wanted to take you through a new way that I view the game, all right? We're either here, or we're here, but very short time, because we have to cover the drop shot now. Everyone's hitting drop shots again. Yeah. So it's like, I have to be far enough away that I can defend, but close enough that I can still.
But for the drop shot, I have a really
Here we go.
strategy.
We talked about a couple things today. Biggest thing we want to recap, all right? When we're hitting dinks, we're either kind of pushing it flat, right? Or we're kind of trying to get some brush on it, all right? If we're getting brush, we're still using a lifting motion most of the time. We talked about dinks. Mechanically, we're either pushing it flat, either with a cupped wrist when we're wide, or if it's behind us, trying to push it, or we are trying to brush with our shoulder, right? We're using our whole arm to brush from low to high. We're not really trying to drive it like this and hit it slow. We're not really trying to windshield wiper for this kind of shot. No, it's more like, this is much more consistent, all right? Next thing we talked about is what makes a perfect dink, all right? Most of the time, you do not want to get your ball to bounce really short to the net. I tried that against 6-0s. They just go up here and then they make you run around forever until you mess up.
Especially if you drop it like near the side.
Yeah, I mean,
do like this little back
they do everything. So you have to, the only time you'd hit it short is if you're like way off the side of the court and you really need time off the bounce to get into position. Otherwise, find the range. If you're gonna take away that, take away that. Find the range. That's what makes a really good dink, makes a good drop, makes a good reset, all right? That's what makes them confused and makes them hit from down here, either out of the air or go off their back foot. Now also, we want our dinks this high, not higher, not lower, all right? Try to get specific. We want our dinks here, even our softer dinks, right? Even our slice dink, our push dinks, we want them there. Top spin, all the same, all right? Next, we talked about a couple of different drills. One was keeping your dinks short. That's good for beginners. And then same thing also for beginners is protecting the line, looking to take things out of the air, all right? And take things at the highest, earliest point, taking away that time, all right? And then we just talked about consistency, right? You don't want to hit to the same spot all the time. You want to be able to have A, B, C, that you hit in a game. You want to hit all 6 of them during one game, 1 point even, right? They shouldn't know where you're going to hit the ball all the time just because of knowing you, right? Really good spots you can hit to, you're going to notice are, so this person's like wide backhand, right, for dinks as well. So just through here to the middle. Also to the sides, their inside foot opens up the wide angles more, all right? But we didn't really talk about that until we started let's talk about like speed ups and things like that, right? Once this person's back here off of a really dead dink, all right? What is a dead dink? This is a dead dink. 4-inch zone, all right? I want you to memorize this, burn it into your mind. We're not attacking or doing anything aggressive until it's in this zone or higher, okay? That's the biggest thing your student, they're gonna speed up from like this. It's just too low. It's just way too low, okay? But once it's here, yeah, you can do speed ups. We talked about 2 techniques. One is the windshield wiper. That's when it's a little lower and you need to spin it to get a lot of top spin with your wrist. The other one is one I've learned more recently. It's where you close your paddle face and you brush up with your shoulder, all right? That's really good for when the ball's near the height of the net. It's like my wrist is locked here, all right? We talked about the importance of being able to defend from here with resets, countering from here and resetting, or even changing your range on them, right? They might think this is a safe spot, but not anymore, right? Right? A lot of good players do that. They'll hang back here. As they're about to approach, they come up here and they like try to attack you. It's a pretty interesting pattern to look for. Let's see. But also, like, you want to speed up when your opponent is off the line, right? If you can get them in a 55-45 situation, even if you look dumb losing, you should go for it because you're going to win most of the time, okay? Remember, the first person who gets a quality attack first wins, okay? Next, deep transition. You want to be really comfortable from here. because this allows you to get the short ball while still being able to short hop and defend, short hop and defend, right? You can let balls bounce. They're afraid to hit too deep because it's going to go out, right? I would say whenever the ball's below your knees, try to let it bounce. All right, technique for this, well, from here at least, from here. Technique for this is push with your shoulder and use only follow-throughs, right? Place the paddle and go. Use your best, your legs, right, to get nice and wide and low, right? And your paddle down, and keep your chest tilted forward, right? A lot of you had a situation where this happened, all right? It's hard to push that ball, right? You can guide it with your shoulder if you stay down. Here, right? We're here anytime the ball's above the net. If they're above the net, doing this stuff, I like to be here, all right? If they never hit drop shots, fine, do this. You know what I mean? But if they do hit drop shots, maybe want to be here.
Right.
And then, of course, if it's in the 4-inch zone, right, below the net but above the 4-inch line, try to be here. Split stepping. Here, we are split stepping every time. And here, we're trying to hit thirds with our partner looking to come forward. Looking. They're like hoping, right? So when my partner's about to hit, can you like shadow a swing? Just somebody? You're about to hit a drop shot. You're about to hit a drop shot. I'm here. Oh, it's bad. Right? You're about to hit a drop shot. Good. We're here. Right? You're about to hit a drop shot. Watch. Okay. All right. We come up here. We're in it. Bad. Oh, shoot. Reset. Boom. Back. Boom. Back. Right? Okay? Because this is above the height of the net. Once we get one ball that's a little linear, coming off the paddle low, all right, we're looking to close in, at least to here, maybe farther. All right? Let's see. We talked about the flicks and rolls probably next. Biggest thing with this is, I would say the biggest thing with the flicks and rolls is when it's really low and you're reaching, probably easiest to use just your shoulder, lock your wrist in this cocked forward position, right? It'll help you get more reach too. If you start doing this stuff, it's gonna go long, right? But if it's a little net height, it's more in your range, you can cock and then forward like you're whipping a towel, right? With a little snapback too if you want, right? Boom. It's really like you're whipping forward though, whipping forward, all right? If you can get it down, that's great, but that's when we talk about the higher stuff, which is the full slap, right? The backhand slapper is what I call it, all right? You're rotating your shoulders, coiling your arm here, and then clearing the table. All right, yes, we're clearing the table. Elbow, back, pull from your back if you can. Elbow, forearm, wrist, everything together. Okay, if you have a tomahawk, it's kind of the same thing, actually. You just have a different grip. Let's see, good speed up spots. I forgot to mention that. Good speed up spots. Outside the hip, all right, couple inches outside. Inside the shoulder, right? If someone sits forehand, you could really mess them up by going on their body, right? You could also go wide to their backhand, and you can go at their face, which is kind of scary, but you can keep a ball in that's this high. You know what I mean? If I hit a roll, it can pass through their face and it's going in. So it's like it's a fair shot. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm bagging them. You know what I mean? This is a really hard ball to get down. All right, we talked about wrist position and volleys. Generally, you want to go through the ball, maybe 20% topspin only, right? Yeah. Volleys, lean forward. If you get the ball here, maybe block. If you get the ball here, that's you're kind of countering already, all right? Notice my weight. If I'm doing, oh shoot, counters. Oh, it's back, it's bad, but I'm still leaning forward. You don't want to be countering like this, right? Every time we hit the ball, we want our weight forward. That's how we have control and power, okay? Let's see. Oh yeah, looking for 1-2 combos. All right. Unless you're on the right side, if you have a forehand in the corner, then you're speeding up down the line, looking to cover everything here with a forehand, right? But if you're speeding up if you're speeding up anywhere else, honestly, you want to backhand second ball. So if I'm speeding up to here and I'm going down the line, I might still slide a little bit to try to cover the most space. It's going to be in this cone, right? For the it might come in a triangle, it might go straight, but I want to hit with the backhand still and maybe give up like 6 inches. All right. But otherwise, if I go cross body to the wide backhand here, right there, like where this person has to be like this, like all the way over the line, I'm actually hitting and then lining up my chest with where they contact the ball. All right, because it's going to be in this cone, no matter what. All right, I want to be here and I want to be here as well if I need to. All right, remember, your partner's not going to be as ready as you will. So if you go like this and speed up cross body, right, and then just go like this, hoping, you're just leaving your partner out to dry. And there's a big hole in the middle that no one's there for. Does that make sense?
So you're saying that if I'm here, if I speed up here, I want to move here a little bit?
Just a little.
Just a little, right?
You want to cover most of your line, but give up a little.
But then when if I'm here and I speed up here, I put me in between the ball.
Right in front of where they contacted.
When he contacted the ball.
Yeah,
But then be ready on my forehand.
Be ready for both.
For both.
Because it might come back. It might come back here.
Right.
Because if the forehand person takes it, it'll come back to you.
The point by going in front is so that you could cover more backhand, right?
Yeah.
And then forehand.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
That is the point.
Got it.
That is the point. Right. It's the whole idea is you want to put yourself in the middle of where it might be. Right. It might come back if they're late. If the forehand person it might come back here. The back hit, it might come over there. You want to take the next ball, is the idea. Right?
Because you know.
Yeah.
Information on that.
Yeah, if I'm doing this with the backhand and I aim at his right hip, I'm going to be like this. There's no way it's coming there. There's no way I'm going to get burned there. I'm only going to get burned this way.
Did you,
okay?
Does everybody know about the triangle effect?
Yeah. Okay.
I assume most people do. But I try to really simplify it. Right? View your opponents as a wall. All right? But if you really want to just get your 1-2 combo, this concept is so important. Center yourself on the spot. If you speed up right at their chest, it's coming back to your chest, probably. Right? If you miss your spot, you speed up here by accident. Right? You should be right in front of that ball. Make sense?
Yeah.
Make sense? All right. I think that kind of covers everything in terms of the way I view the game. Okay? When we talk about, I'll give you a couple bonus tips. I know a lot of you do tournaments too. What I look for in a tournament is what grip they're in and what tendencies they have when the ball gets fast. Right? We talked about a lot about volleys and firefights, how when they're early, where's this ball going? Cross body, yeah, or cross court, either way. When the ball gets fast, do they tend to be like this? You know, a lot of people do that. A lot of people tend to go like this, and they hope they can cover everything, right? So they're giving up their shoulder area a little bit more, right? Some people are in this grip. How do you beat someone in this grip? This is all dead zone, right? So you have to get it wide or low or both. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you can get it down here, but this shoulder area is not good anymore, right? Yeah, some people sit like this, backhand Eastern. You got to make them turn the paddle and hit a forehand because they're going to pop it up every time, right? That's kind of the things I look for. I look for if they have a two-handed backhand roll. We didn't talk about that shot. I wish I had time for it. But it's one of the most important shots in today's game. If you don't have one, I would continue working on developing it. All right, be able to do it as a drop shot, as a dink, anytime that you have time on the ball. All right, you can brush with your left hand. We didn't talk about that though. But either way, find the range. If you find the range with any kind of dink, you're gonna be okay. All right, they're probably gonna hit from pretty low. All right, I think the biggest thing a lot of you are gonna see from your students are them hitting drop shots and not coming up. They're great drops and nothing happens, right? This is where they can start actually using the drop shots. Like, what's the purpose of a drop shot? It's to give you time to come forward, right? That we want to get here. We want to get here, all right? The other thing that is going to go wrong is they hit a bad drop and then they come forward anyway.
Yeah. Those are the major mistakes.
Right? Because they're just going to get eaten up by a ball above the net. Right? So we got to understand, oh, that's high. You're looking to get back to deep transition. Right? Your partner's on balance. Right? And then one of the most common things I see, your partner's on balance, about to hit a drop from the midcourt because it's a weak return. Their partner's behind the baseline. Right? Not putting any pressure. Right? That's a time you actually want to be at least a step ahead of them. Maybe more, almost here, depending on how much confidence you have in their drop. Right? But you always want to be a step ahead of your partner when they're drop shotting. And judge the ball as quickly as you can. Right? By the time they hit it, you want to have a decision on where to go. By the time it's not even like halfway to the net already. Right? Putting pressure, getting that first attack is going to be huge. All right. Any questions on the stuff we talked about today? I know I went over a lot, but you'll be able to review it. Split steps, maybe I went over quickly. Split step every ball. All right. The only time you don't have to split step right at contact is when it's below the 4-inch line. Maybe they're hitting and you go, and and then you decide what to do. All right. It might be right after they hit is where you split step. Because you can take more space there. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good summary. I mean, keep communicating, right? When it comes to tournaments, you want to stretch out the better player, make them play as much court as possible, right? So if they're really good and they just want to keep dinking cross court, do your best to put a ball here. Where if he wants to go take it, he's got to go run a marathon to get it. You know what I mean?